Hello Internet, welcome to part 2 of my Arkham City review. Now, I left off at the grand finale. You take out all the snipers, which was really harrowing, and when I finished it, I was like, finally! I wasn't happy that I did it, but I did it so that I can get to the next part, and again, I don't think a game should be that. And I wasn't even playing on hard, I was playing on normal. And I'm not a nooblet, I'm not like Toby. Watching Toby play Batman Arkham City is really frustrating. No offense, Toby, he's probably not watching. But oh, God. If you haven't watched his series, you should. I'll leave a link down below. You get into the theater and you find out that not all is as it seems. Talia's standing with the Joker, takes the sword, stabs him and goes, well, that was easy. Let's go, beloved. And then Joker gets up, stabs her, and you hear another echoing laughter from the rafters, and it's the real Joker, the real diseased Joker who has not had the cure, still dying. You turn around, and the other Joker just starts like blah, 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 and it's Clayface. Fuck yeah, it's Clayface. The final battle of the game is a 3-tiered battle with Clayface, where you just keep throwing. Victor Freeze gave you like an ice grenade, so you throw it at bad guys and it traps them in ice. But you literally just spam, and you beat Clayface, and then you go down to where the Lazarus Pit is, and he just sends out all these guys, and you keep throwing things, and it was pretty cheap and pretty easy for a final boss. But the biggest possible thing, story-wise, that I never thought would happen, and Rocksteady has balls for it, you beat Clayface, he just sort of oozes away, and Joker is about to fall into the Lazarus Pit, dying. Batman takes his bit of the cure and has it ready, and Joker comes from behind, stabs him in the shoulder, drops the cure, and Joker's fucked. And Batman says, the funny thing is I would have given you some. And Joker says, that is funny, laughs, and dies! They killed the fucking Joker, man! And there's really no explanation. There's no aftermath. You literally pick up the Joker, and you're walking through Gotham City, and you leave the Arkham City gates, leave him on Commissioner Gordon's car, and pimp away. And that's it. They don't say anything. And there's a really creepy thing that happens in the credits. Before I talk more about the story, I wanted to mention the side missions. There are a lot of different side missions that involve other members of Batman's Rogue Gallery that are cool. I mean, unfortunately, they're not always pressuring you to do them. There are a couple that say like, hey, there's a thing over here, but nothing like, if you don't do this, shit's gonna go crazy. There was only one, actually, and that was the one for Victor Zsasz. And I like calling him Zsaz, because Zsaz is a word. But with Zsasz, you get a call on the phone saying, I have 3 hostages. If you don't find another phone, I'm gonna kill them. And so you have to fly, you have to, like, just propel through Gotham, finding these payphones where Zsasz is calling you and telling you about his story. And while he's telling you, you have to try to triangulate where his hideout is. And then eventually you find him and you beat him and you trap him in a small cage. And that and Bane trying to find whatever Titan was left were really like the only ones that were kind of in your face. Everything else was like, hey, there's a thing. There's one that, my favorite one so far is the one with the Mad Hatter. Because it's quick, and I really feel like I should have done it during the story mode. Because there's a part during the story mode where you save Vicky Vale, and you see the Mad Hatter like kind of watching, and then you hear something from Alfred saying that they've found the cure. And they've determined what the cure would be. So you go, you grab it, it's a thing, you inject it, you pass out, and you wake up at the Mad Tea Party. And it's just a combat side mission, but Batman's wearing a March Hare mask, and he looks like fucking Frank from Donnie Darko. And it's really weird and twisted and great and fun. And I really enjoyed it. The side quests are good, but there's nothing like Infamous. Infamous really got me into doing side missions because I felt like it was doing something for the city. But with Arkham City, like, I'm not as inclined to do them. I know a lot. I know all of the rest of the Rogues Gallery that have to do with the side missions, and it's awesome. It's cool. Like, Hush, like, that whole thing leads at another game. Like, all of the Easter eggs that might be leading to another game are really cool. Like, Hush gets away. If after you beat the game, if you go into, like, the Joker's office, you can find a pregnancy test that's positive next to Harley's outfit from Arkham Asylum. So it looks like Harley's pregnant. And there's also a lullaby that is sung by Harley that goes over the credits under certain circumstances. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. For you, Mama's gonna kill the whole damn world. For you, Mama's gonna kill the whole damn world. Yeah. So that implies that Harley either is with child or had a child, and there are plans for him in the future game. And then there are all these other transmissions that you can find about a person who has yet to be revealed. And Azrael's in the game. If you guys don't know who Azrael is, he's a smallish character in the Batman universe, but he prophesied doom for Gotham. So it's definitely not as hidden as the Arkham City blueprints that were in Arkham Asylum, but still a good inclination that there's going to be another game. Okay, I'm going to try to wrap this up so it's not a 3-part video. I didn't get into the gameplay of this game until after I beat it. It started coming together on the Clayface battle, but not only until after I beat the game did I finally start tuning into accurately using stealth and accurately using combat to where nobody could touch me. And I started having fun, but this was after the main story was over. Getting around the city, the stealth missions, just the controls in general were really hard to sink my teeth into because I was so used to Infamous and Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed had a way of getting about the city that wasn't too different from Infamous, but Batman seemed really basic to me. Like it was very simple, which isn't bad, but it's not what I was used to. So not until the final hours of the game, or the final hour of the game, did I really get into being able to get around the city efficiently and being able to sneak up behind people using silent kills. Like when I would do silent kills, it would say finishing blow. So I went, all right, finishing blow. And then everybody would be like, hey. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not a silent takedown. Little did I know that you're supposed to press triangle and let it happen, take time. I really like the combat of the game, and so I don't like how you have to choose between stealth and combat, but that's Batman, I know. If Rocksteady took this system and put it in just like a regular action game, I don't know if I'd enjoy it more or less. I really did enjoy the stealth parts when I learned how to do them, but there was one part with Catwoman, the end of Catwoman's storyline, which again just sort of negates the whole feeling that you have at the end of the Batman storyline. As the Batman storyline ends, the credits go, New Game Mode Plus unlocked, and then you start up with Catwoman's final mission, where you have to face Two-Face, and that's a whole stealth-based thing that just, I really didn't have any fun with Catwoman. So if you're watching and you just spoiled the entire game for yourself, don't play as Catwoman. Wait until after, play all of her individual episodes by herself, and just don't bother. I know I have a lot more of the game to cover. I still have to reach 50%. I'm not quite at 50% yet, but I'm almost there. A bunch of Riddler trophies, and of course the Riddler's traps where he's trapped other guards of Gotham. I've gotten through the one, and it's cool. I really like hearing the Riddler's voice in your brain. But if you're a fan of Batman, you've probably bought the game already. If you haven't, if you're waiting, then buy the game. It's not a bad game. I found problems with it with my particular gaming style that just didn't really sit well, and the whole thing was setting up for a huge idea that I wanted it to be that it really didn't. So it fell flat because of, I feel, its own story expectations that it put in front of it that just didn't flesh out. And I would love to have a discussion more with everybody about this, so please leave comments down below, and we'll talk about it. And video responses, and we'll video response back to each other, and we can have a discussion. Because a lot of people gave this game just critical acclaim, and it's huge, and I do think it does deserve a lot of it, but there are a lot of parts where I just don't understand the decision behind of it. So, thank you for sticking through this huge review of Batman Arkham City, and if you've played it, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if I'm just full of hot air or if you've agreed with some of the things that I've said too. And brief thing, next week I'm not going to be doing a review because I'm going to be in Ireland for the Dublin meetup, and this week's going to be a lot of hardcore prep, and I'm not going to be able to play anything. And this week it would have been Battlefield, but skipping Battlefield, and hopefully next week I'll have enough time to beat Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'm going to give you a headbutt.